We were just lamenting the lack of humour in politics. Well, thank God that Pauline Hanson is continuing to raise money and produce these cartoons, which always have a political message, but are always very funny. I gave you a tease at the top of the show. Here's a bit more of the latest cartoon from Pauline Hanson.
Albo, hurry up. What are you doing? What am I doing about what? Climate change, foreign aid? And why aren't there more immigrants around here? What, is 300,000 not enough? No, there's no time. Come on. You've got no opposition. You can pass whatever you want. Well, no, I still need to convince Lambie or Pocock to vote with us, and they're a couple of intellectual powerhouses.
Yeah, well, it's a ball game, Park Water, and I give full credit to the boys.
Come on, Albo. You can pass whatever I want. No one can stop us. This is our school now. What do you say? This is my school. Oh, yes. Sorry, Lydia. Sorry's not going to cut it, you privileged white scum. Now, give me all your rent money. Okay, yep, I'll take it all, Lydia, please.
It's so funny because it's so true. Let's cross to Pauline Hanson at home in Queensland, the founder and leader of One Nation. Pauline, these are just gold. You must have so much fun producing them and getting them out there.
Chris, we had people pulling me up. I'm sitting on a plane, fellow turns around and says to me, when are you bringing back the cartoons? I absolutely love them. And I was constantly asked that all the time. So we've put our heads together and we've come up with this fundraiser, and it means, you know, buying a bottle of rum, and it's going to fund it, the cartoons, hopefully for the next year or two. But I want to thank everyone who's gone to our website and bought their bottle of rum, because it's keeping the cartoons going. It's educating people. They have an understanding of more of politics than probably they ever will have.
It's just brilliant stuff. Now, that focuses at the end on Lydia Thorpe, thinking that the school, the parliament is her place, the country, that's her message. Turns out now that after she's defected from the Greens, she's sitting next to you in the Senate. How's that going, and will it last?
Chris, I only just found out yesterday and I was furious, and I went straight to the President's office and made a complaint about it. They don't see any problem with it. The President, Sue Lyons, is absolutely bloody hopeless in her role. There has been, over the last couple of years since Lydia came into the Parliament, you know, I've complained about her aggression towards me, her treatment of me when I'm doing my speeches in the chamber. She shirt fronted me. They know there are problems. So she actually asked Jackie Lambie to move from her seat so she could sit beside me. We'll see what pans out of that. But what I've heard also is the fact that she did not want to sit beside David Pocock because he's a white male.
Good Lord. But, you know, the 2 points about this. One is she shouldn't be deciding who she should sit next to on those grounds, but neither should you have to have a problem sitting next to someone because of aggression or the like. I mean, it's the Parliament. Everybody should be able to sit there safely next to whoever, no matter what their political views are.
Chris, isn't it quite funny? She's accused me of feeling unsafe in the workplace with me being there. Yes, she wants to sit right beside me. And I'm talking to people about, you know, less than probably 30 centimetres, 45 centimetres beside us, in between us. So how ridiculous is that? It's going to be quite interesting to see how this pans out, because I will be having my say about this. I've got a job to do in that Parliament, but I can see the abuse that is going to come from her, you know, if we're both in Parliament together. But I've got a job to do and I'll concentrate on that. But I tell you what, I won't cop it from her, Chris. I won't. I'm not going to sit there and cop any abuse or interruption when I'm trying to deliver what I need to say in that Parliament for the people of Australia. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, well, let's hope it's civil, but we'll keep an eye on that next week. Let us know if there's any developments. I want to get to an amendment that's before the Parliament, an amendment to the Family Law Act that I don't think has got enough attention. A lot of people are worried about it. It's designed with the best intentions to try and help these family divisions and child custody and try and reduce incidents of domestic violence and the like. But I want to show you some of the criteria that you know full well, Pauline, will be coming out of the Act. These are the criteria that will no longer be considered when the court is deciding custody of children. And one is the meaningful involvement with both parents. The other is the children's right to know both parents and spend time with both parents. Parents jointly sharing duties and care, and parents agreeing on future parenting. These criteria will no longer be considered.
That's a big worry, isn't it, Pauline? And I think a lot of men in the family court will feel that they are the ones who will miss out on time and access to their children because of this.
Chris, it breaks my heart to see that the Labor Party are actually doing this, by feminist groups and organisations that have been pushing their own agenda, and this was not part of the recommendations of the inquiry that I actually got up. And it just hurts me immensely because I've been so involved with this. And to see this happen, yes, it will affect men more than women. But let me also tell you, there are women involved. I've spoken to women who have been denied the right to see their children, but it will affect men more so. So they want to stop men having any contact. Graham Perrott, in a discussion that I had with him in one meeting, and I said men should have a right to shared parental responsibility with the children. He said, no, they don't. He said, women make far better parents. Now, that tells me he's nothing but a male chauvinist. He's grown up in a household, you go out to work and the women looks after the kids. And that's the attitude. And he moved, before the recommendations came down on the floor of Parliament, to actually get rid of shared parenting. And this is what you're dealing with, Chris. I've read reports over the years and surveys that have been done that it's more detrimental to children if they don't have that contact with both parents, and especially boys. They need that contact with their fathers, otherwise their mental health problems, and it goes on for years in their life. We have to think of the children. It's not about women's rights here, it's about the children.
Yeah, now there's fairly complicated changes to the law, but to summarise them, if I can summarise it correctly, you'll know. There used to be a presumption under the law. There is now a presumption under the law that the best scenario would be for a child to split their care between both parents, that both parents have equal access. And that's now being thrown away effectively. That idea that equal access is best is no longer going to be considered.
That's correct, and that was brought in by John Howard to actually have that shared parenting. And, they're trying to say, parents are confused by that. They shouldn't have 50-50 parental custody of the children and have a say in it. And I know fathers that they can't get the medical records of the children, they can't get their children's reports because the other parent won't allow it. There's so many things. And I'll tell you what's going to happen here, Chris. There will be more domestic violence, there will be more suicides, there will be more problems that are going to happen, because the more you deny these great men out there who want to be fathers to their children, and we are denying them that right, not only the fathers, but it's the extended families, it's the grandparents, it's extended families that will not get contact with them. And I'll say to these parents out there, whether you're male or female, get over your differences, get rid of your hatred or because you want to victimise your former partner, and think of your children, because it scars them, not only now as children, but further on in their life.
Thanks, Pauline. It's a very crucial issue. We'll keep an eye on it, one that hasn't got enough attention so far. Appreciate your time. Pauline Hanson there, live from Queensland.